What is going on, Jerome's? The bulk of the Week 2 NFL slate is in the books. Only two Monday Night Football games going on. I don't like the overlap. Also, the matchups. Who asked for this? But there's a lot going on. Even though things didn't work out last Thursday, it seems like eons ago, but everything else worked out pretty nicely for the Minnesota Vikings. Let's go through. So the Packers, the greasy grimy Green Bay Packers lost against the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta coming back from a 12-point deficit in the fourth quarter. Our guy Young Ho Koo hitting the ultimate game winner. And Jordan Love, I think he'll be fine. I think he's shown flashes, but I don't know. Couple big time mistakes, no big deal. But Atlanta's interesting because Desmond Ridder is the ultimate game manager right now. Bijan Robinson, they actually were smart and actually got him the rock, 19 carries for 124 yards. Drake London actually made an appearance right after I benched him on my fantasy team, but no big deal there. But I'm happy to see the Packers put up the good fight and just lose. Let's lose. And also, it's so cool that Packers fans blaming injuries along the offensive line. Oh, really? Yeah, ask us Vikings fans about that. How's that working out? But again, the Packers will be 0-2, except they got to play the Bears week 1. That's all, man. The Raiders turned into a pumpkin. I mean, they had a nice win in Denver last week, but the Bills got back on track because basically, the Bills should have never lost week 1. The Jets should not have pulled off that miracle, but Josh Allen gave it away now. But Josh came back, 274-yard game, 3 touchdowns. James Dalvin Cook, $123 on the ground, looking good there, and they put the bank thing on the Raiders. And then you got the Ravens going down the road, beating Cincy. Bengals suck right now. Joe Burrow got the bag, and he looks like ass. Thank you. And I don't know what it is, man. You got Jamar, you got Higgins, you got Boyd, and you just got nothing else. It's ridiculous how bad Joe Burrow looks right now. And you can say, right now Kirk Cousins is here. Right now Joe Burrow's here. And if you disagree, you're either stupid or you're lying. It's one of the two things, man. Lamar, after a bit of a helter-skelter week 1 against the Texans, the Ravens offense looks really good. It looks really good, man. Gus Edwards going for 62 and a touchdown as well. Then you got the Seahawks in OT taking down Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell's legitimately playing for the tie. And then also just Dan Campbell and Mike Zimmer should get together and teach a seminar for game management at the end of football games, because that would just be worth the money, certainly. But the Seahawks came back from a bit of a deficit, had to pick 6 up for Jared Goff, as well as Geno Smith turned things on late, 2 touchdowns to Tyler Lockett. Love to see it, man. I understand I'm supposed to dislike the Seahawks. I really don't. I really don't, especially when they go in and beat the Lions' ass. Because remember, the Lions were boasters like, oh, we finally have a sellout. Oh, season tickets are at capacity. Oh, we're wearing the blue masks. Cool. Awesome. I remember, the Lions should be 0-2, except Kadarius Toney exists. That's all. Then another overtime game, Chargers at the Tennessee Titans, where, Brandon Staley is supposed to be this defensive wizard, but the Chargers defense is ass. Justin Herbert's been fantastic, but I don't trust Kellen Moore. I don't trust Brandon Staley. And frankly, if the Vikings lose the Chargers at home, just cancel the season. It's over then. It's a wrap, son. But going down the road against Tennessee, Derrick Henry tried to make a reappearance again. I don't know, but Keenan Allen is a bad dude. Put up a monster game too, but they just gave it away again. Is Brandon Staley going to be the first coach fired this year? I think he's got a good shot. And, that job, so you're in L.A., you have Justin Herbert. It's a pretty attractive job. Not going to lie. Would Sean McVay actually leave the Rams for the Chargers to take that job? I don't know. Then you got the Bears. A couple things that made me happy. Number one, the Lions hype, but also the Bears and Justin Fields hype just completely imploding after 2 games. If you check out Bears fans on social media, which I follow a couple just because it's good to get the temperature of the other fan base, they're in complete meltdown. Like they're like, we should tank to try and get the number 1 overall pick. Bro, you don't need to tank. I mean, you guys tried your hardest last year and you still ended up number 1, man. And they've won 12 regular season games in a row, and it's just rough, man. But I mean, the Bucs, I mean, respect to the Bucs. Maybe that week 1 loss doesn't look so bad anymore. I mean, Baker's doing the damn thing. Mike Evans is a bad dude. Rashad White had himself a good game. I mean, but the Bears, I mean, Justin Fields had 2 interceptions, including a pick 6. He had 6 sacks total. 4 of them were on him. He's not seeing the field. And yeah, you could blame the offensive line. You could blame the weapons all you want, but he looks even. He was decent last year as a runner. He looks atrocious here. Speaking of atrocious, so the Chiefs got off the schneid, going on the road, winning an ugly game 17-9 over Jacksonville. I mean, props to the Chiefs defense, really shutting down this Jaguars offense, which looked really damn good. Christian Kirk still had 11 catches for $110. I don't know, man, but Mahomes had 2 touchdowns. Pacheco ground out 70 on the ground, and Kansas City puts a crooked number in the win column, and they get out of there versus a. Jackson, this is not indicative of what team they're going to be this year, but the Chiefs going into Duval and getting a win is pretty big this time of year. At AFC South matchup, Colts at Texans. So, I mean, this was supposed to be a fun matchup between the 2 rookie quarterbacks, Anthony Richardson and C.J. Stroud. Stroud put up 384 and 2, mostly in junk time because I don't know what Gardner Minshew. All right, so first off, Richardson looks amazing, man. Ran in 2 touchdowns. Unfortunately, left with a concussion. Hopefully, he'll be back on the field soon. But Gardner Minshew came in and put up points. I don't know what it is. Zach Moss was toting the rock, fantastic. And both these teams are pretty far away, but I think they may have found their quarterbacks. I think that they will be in a pretty good spot there for years to come. Now they just got to build around them. And then late game. So you got the Niners at the Rams. Okay, this is such a bad beat. Now, I did stay away from this game. I know that some people I know picked the Rams in Survivor, which is fine. Well, loser Survivor. So I'm in a couple leagues that instead of picking the winning teams in Survivor, you pick the losing team, which is actually kind of hard to do. Anyways, but so many people had the Niners -7.5 or -7, and they're both bad beats because the Niners were controlling this game late. They're up by 10 with 1 play left, and then for whatever reason, McVay kicked a field goal, which I don't know, just to say F you to the bettors, because if you had Niners -7, you got to push. If you had a -7.5 or worse, you lost. Which should have been a cinch, but Puka Nacua is legitimate, 15 for $147. I mean, yeah, the pride of BYU was massively overlooked, and now he's overbooked. Love to see it. Stafford's out there slinging it again. Still had 2 picks. McCaffrey, another great showing on the ground. $116 and a touchdown. And I think this is one of those games where the Rams were in it at the half. Niners pulled away late, salted this thing away because they're simply a better team. And also, that half that stadium was red. That's what happens to the Rams and the Chargers and the Raiders whenever they have a home game. The other team, the fan base travels well, but McVay, hell of a coach and a talent depleted team, but we'll see. Speaking of talent depleted, so I don't know how the Cardinals blew this, man. So the Cardinals were up 20 points. Something like that. They're up 20-0. The Giants didn't score a single point in the first 6 quarters of the season. Maybe they were for a Woods, but then they came all the way back. They came roaring back. Jalen Hyatt had himself a big game. Danny Dimes was out there. Saquon was doing the damn thing before he tweaked his ankle. But how's this happen? If you're the Cardinals, what happened at halftime? Did you get a message from ownership? It's like, hey, we are tanking now, and then not so much. Jets and the Cowboys. So, yeah, this is another popular pick in Survivor. Well, both for loser Survivor, the Jets, as well as Survivor picking the Cowboys. Or maybe you save the Cowboys. I don't know. But either way, Dallas could be a problem because the Cowboys look really, really damn good. Now, it could just be that they're playing Zach Wilson, and he's going to make Pop Warner defense look good through 3 picks. So, I don't know. But Tony Pollard is a dude. CeeDee Lamb crushed it out there, too. And the Jets are falling apart. And we had predicted this. We didn't predict the Rodgers injury, obviously, but I mean, things are falling apart at the seams. Where Breece Hall calling out the team, only getting 4 touches on Twitter. Sauce Gardner deleting his Twitter after arguing with fans. Man, it's only week 2. It's only week 2, brother. Come on, man. Then you got the Commies and the Broncos. This game was drunk. This game had no business being this damn good. So the Broncos got up 21-3, and it looked like, okay, stupid ass Sean Payton, stupid Russell Wilson. They're finally getting it together. But then the Commies came roaring back, led by Sling and Sam Howman and also Brian Robinson Jr. And it was just insane. But then, so they're down 8. Broncos are down 8 late. Russ completes like a 60-yard Hail Mary, and then they screw up the 2-point conversion, which could have been a hold on Brian St. Just. Probably not, because he's a gopher. Don't care. But how do you complete a Hail Mary at the end of the game and still lose? It's rough. Speaking of rough, so Dolphins basically control the Patriots this entire game. And Tua dropped some dimes out there. Statistically, didn't put up huge numbers. Mostert a $121 and 2 on the ground, which was fantastic. Tyreek caught a touchdown. But I mean, the Patriots. This game is going to be remembered for special teams because they had the interesting punt block where they had the guy come into motion. I think that's going to catch on like wildfire around the league. Like Coach Hatt put that in this week. Do it. And also ended on a strange play, literally, where he got the offensive lineman Cole Strange from UT Chattanooga received a lateral, and he almost got a first down. Since he wore number 69, like he looks like Billy Bob out there from Varsity Blues. Get out there. Thursday night game. We don't remember Thursday night game. Actually, we do because the Vikings played damn well, and if they didn't have 4 turnovers, they win that game easily. Like, again, if the Vikings didn't turn the ball over 4 times, they blow Philly out. Straight up. I want them again. Man. And then Monday night, you got the Saints at the Panthers. Again, who asked for this? And then an hour later, for whatever reason, just stagger the games. I've been put one at 5:15 Eastern, and then bump one back. I don't know. Or why are both these games on the East Coast? Get a West Coast game in there. I don't know. But Browns and Steelers later on. It would be ideal if George Pickens could score 14 points in a PPR, full-point PPR. That would be great. And without Deontay Johnson, I think he may have a chance, but we'll see. Anyways, that's it. That's a recap. What went down week 2 for the most part. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.